Thank you. I thought it was totally.
No selective outrage.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to hear. You don't want to hear our take.
Okay. All right.
I feel like you don't want to hear us. I feel like
I do. So tell me about Chris Rock. Go ahead, Lamont. You already defiled Nubia with your nonsense. So well, go ahead.
I'm active in there. All right. So here's the thing. I don't know where you stand on it. I can assume. I can only assume. However,
I know.
Yeah, I can only assume. But I took about 4 or 5 days off and did not watch it and just watched the reaction on social media. And it was pretty much split down the middle. I was like, oh, okay, wow, blah, blah, blah. So I finally got a chance to watch it the other night. And I really couldn't figure out why so many people just hated it for no reason. For no reason. I feel like it was so Chris Rock that if you were a fan of Chris Rock, he gave you what you came to expect. If you're not a fan of Chris Rock, you're not going to like it.
Yeah.
If you're not a fan of Chris Rock, why would you watch it? To pick it apart, joke by joke. I'm not watching Roseanne Barr. I'm not listening to Kid Rock. I'm not watching Louis C.K.'s special.
Right.
So
those are good points.
It was just.
But so those people are not in our culture. Number one.
Wait.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So
you're not done. You're still talking. Okay.
Yeah. Because as a comedy special, here's my only issue with it. He didn't rehearse the set enough, because I know people that have seen him over the last year and more than once, and they said a lot of this material was not what they saw just as soon as late last year. So apparently this was something he was an endeavor or an attempt or an experiment he was trying to do. And so a lot of it looked like he was nervous. But, I talked with a mental health professional who was like, people are not even giving Chris Rock the grace that they would give anybody else that has been through a traumatic event. And he tells you his whole career, how traumatic his life was. And now, because we don't agree with each joke or Chris Rock or what he said that one time, it wasn't funny.
This is problematic.
It's problematic. You get all of these things because you don't like him. Now, if we were to take Eddie Murphy raw, joke by joke, if we were to take Richard Pryor live on the Sunset Strip, joke by joke, these people would never have careers. Like, where
not
are
now.
we now?
Not now. I also wait. Hold on. But I also think no. We would never take Eddie Murphy joke by joke today, something that was 30 years ago, or Richard Pryor. But we're in a particular time today. So today there's a certain climate. Today there's a certain temperament, and today Chris Rock is not necessarily representative of the culture that we just talked about with Grand Crew and all of this, the peppering of the N-word and all that.
He's representative of his experience. That's his material.
Okay. So, but you're publicly out there. You represent us. So Roseanne Barr doesn't represent us. Kid Rock doesn't represent us. I'm saying to them.
To who?
Because I feel like he was talking to them, not to us anyway. But yes,
I don't care who to them thinks. The whole point of us is to be more central and to see that we're not a monolith and that we can be a lot of. So I'm not responsible for Chris Rock. Just like when he said, just the problem I had with him was when he said when he dropped the mic and he was like, I didn't hit him back because I got parents, which if he had left it with that, I would have been fine. But I got parents and we don't fight in front of white folks. I don't care what white folks think. That's the problem. We need to be inward and Afrocentric. But let's be honest, Chris Rock has never really represented the culture. Chris Rock made his living telling white folks what we say behind their back. And that's why they gave him the prestige that they did, was because he's always, when he said, I hate N-words, but I love black people, that gave guys like Bill Maher and these guys able to say, oh, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. When everybody's grandmother has said that. That's not even a joke in the black community. That's just them, black people telling that what we say amongst ourselves. So I don't think he's part of the culture. stylistically, I like a guy who's honest. When the whole first half of the show, he does that rah, 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 repeats every setup twice. That is fake. When he did the stuff about Jada and Will, I felt he was more honest and more natural. So he was speaking to people. Like his last special, Tambourine, I like that one better.
It was definitely
I don't
better.
think it was funnier.
It was
but
stronger.
I think it was better because he was speaking from his voice, whereas you conflate these things. But I always also say, it's like when I was coming up and I would date somebody and I would take them to comedy shows. Eventually, they get to the point where nothing is funny. So even with you, Karen, and you watch these things and you're picking them apart, there comes a time where you could see, it's like, the magic trick.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never going to be funny. So even when I look at a special, and I ranted and raved about Earthquake special, but
yes.
I don't think I laughed out loud. I was like, wow, that's good. Because I know how layered it is.
And what it takes to do that. What goes into that.
All right. So I want both of you, I think you both know me well enough. I am very much appreciative of the craft, which is why I would never say I'm a comedian.
Right.
I watch some more. I watch everything, by the way. Right. Ali Wong. I'm watching Bill Burr. Bill Burr actually made me laugh out loud.
Oh, Burr's tough though. He's tough. Yeah.
No, but this is what I'm saying. This is to me. Here's what I was thinking. If I were managing or somebody in Chris Rock's life, I wouldn't have even mentioned the slap. I would have given you bomb comedy because I know you're expecting it. I know you're expecting. I wouldn't even give it to you.
That's what they paid for.
Yeah, but that's what the 40 million was for.
Yeah, they paid for that.
That's why he didn't talk about it.
Yeah, until the very and who's not doing that? People was like, well, he shouldn't have, and he deflected. Who's not gonna tell their story for 40 million? Who's not? He
could have done. What's the guy, Gerard Carmichael, who sat there?
Terrible.
I'm saying
he's terrible. And I don't even judge comedians.
No, I'm saying you don't even let me finish my damn sentence. Okay, Gerard Carmichael's last special was not a comedy special; it was a therapy session.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was a therapy session. Okay,
this was the same. This was more of a TED Talk than a comedy special. But you know who started that? The person that he's been rolling around with for about 3 or 4 years, whose camp he's in, whose voice and vocal stylings on the first half of the show starts to rub off on Chris Rock, where the first half of the show, Chris Rock didn't even sound like Chris Rock. He sounded like Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And so
but you're not as good as he is.
Well, he's Chris Rock. And see, I hate when people say that. But this goes back to the Jordan LeBron comparison. People want to make this.
It's not, because both of them are talented.
They both are. You can. I'm not going to let you do
talented.
That. You cannot take and say that Chris Rock was never funny. Are you one of those? Chris Rock was never funny.
I'm trying to think of anything that Chris Rock has ever said where I was like, that's funny.
And see, when I hear people say that, I don't believe them.
Well, you tell me, give me a Chris Rock joke that. No, I mean, listen, inform me. Give me
is a classic.
No, give me a joke that you can remember the way, like stir like coffee, bunny bun, goony goo goo, baby's kids.
All trash. Problematic.
Eddie Murphy's
trash. It is now. Today is trash. It wasn't trash then. I paid money to go see it, and I laughed. I remember listening to the first one.
You were also in a different mindset.
Yeah, I was 20.
And you also appreciate a different style. I watched Marlon Wayans because I'm a fan of Marlon Wayans. I watched that too. I fell asleep for the third time.
Yes, for the
third time. Because the last two he had.
They were bad. Yes, I agree.
And I like him, but that's not my style. You see what I'm saying?
There's a style, or is it lazy comedy? I just think that he didn't put. I think it's lazy comedy. I think his comedy's lazy.
Some people don't like that.
The difference between LeBron, Kobe, and Tim Duncan.
No, it's not. Don't bring that in. These are trained professionals.
You got people that just like spitball and ride coattails
and have people write for them. No, you can't make that comparison because people write comedy for comedians. Ain't nobody doing the work that LeBron and Michael Jordan. They're putting the work in themselves.
Not true. You're in.
What?
I'm in these streets every day. No comic is doing a special and not banging out sets over and over and over. Now you're rich, so now you go in a limo, or you go in a.
So you're saying nobody writes for these people?
I'm not saying people don't write, but even when they write, to write for somebody, and you have to write in the context of their style
and their voice,
and
their style.
I get that, but
And
ain't
there's a lot
nobody in the weight room for LeBron. Or, like, let's take the sports analysis off. The analogy
sports
off the
analysis
table, 'cause I don't
is
think it's
important,
the same.
is because in comedians people tend to say, well, this person is better than. That's why I said it's an equivalency, because it's not about better than. It's about, you like this style and that material, you don't like that style and that material. It doesn't mean that the one that you like is better than the one that you don't like.
I just like to laugh. I just want to laugh.
Yeah,
but you can't laugh if you're already going into it. You're like, Chris Rock is problematic to me. You're not gonna laugh at nothing he said.
You don't like him.
I gave him credit. I gave him credit for the jokes that I thought were good.
Yeah, but
because I'm fair.
Also, you're still gonna go. You're not gonna laugh at it because you're going with this is not my style. There's people that I know are good, but I don't laugh at them because it just, I can see it coming.
Let me tell you, I laughed out loud. I went to see Godfrey.
He's a beast.
And yes. In his heyday,
even now, he's better now.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him recently, and I, you already know.
Yeah.
I would probably still laugh, even though I'm like, you keep my name out your mouth.
But he's a different kind of comic, though.
Yeah. Yes, but I'm saying, like, there's levels to this,
Yeah, but he's also super. Like, he has so many different styles and so many.
Right, he could do impersonations. He could do,
this voices, characters.
That ain't Chris. And I'm not even Chris. Chris has never even
Mm-hmm.
been. Chris may have been in my top 10. I don't throw his name out when I talk about.
I don't either.
But I do. I'm a student
top
of the
10?
craft, and I understand what it was.
Give him part of top
it was
10.
It was a funny TED talk, and I think the expectation, because the world witnessed the event, I think the expectation is what killed it. And so now you're picking apart. We live in an a la carte culture. And you get to pick apart.
I actually wasn't. I wanted to sit and watch. I actually sat to watch. No, I did not. So I don't want to, I'm not going to defend that. I actually sat to watch it, and I said to myself, I'm going to be fair and I want to laugh. So let me see how funny this is.
But the simple fact that you have to prep yourself.
Yeah, I have to, because I am I don't like him. So you know that already. So it's not even,
it's just not going to go. It's like, I don't like, I used to like magic, right? And then, but I like close-up magic, right? Because there's a skill to it. Whereas when you show me the tiger and then it don't do nothing for me. But I get how involved it is, and I go, wow, that was dope. You just made
I
an
thought
elephant.
You meant Magic Johnson. I was like, what did he do to you? Sorry, I was trying to find out what was going on. Is there a story?
And Chris never had really street love in the first place. He never had the hood. The hood never really dug him. He made his living doing mainstream rooms and making white folks laugh.